goes and you're waiting.
Whee! I'm waiting for those listening on the podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Gather around.
We also got you a cake.
People who are dicing. We have cake?
Only if you're listening on the podcast, there's cake. But
so
so good.
The podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast before, go for it. Apparently, there's cake. I'm Rick, your guide through the mystical realms with probability of demise. As we embark on this remarkable journey, allow me introduce. Wow, articles are a thing. Allow me to introduce our valiant souls. This is mine. This is Jason's. First, we have Jason stepping into the shoes of Asher, a courageous bard with a heart ablaze with determination. Next, we have Larissa, gracing our narrative as Trixie, the cunning and quick-witted monk, wielding both wisdom and fists with equal prowess.
Hello.
And let us not forget Jess, whose portrayal of Tanzanite adds an ethereal death touch to our ensemble. Her very presence holds secrets of deific consequence. Together, these three extraordinary storytellers will weave a captivating tapestry of adventure within Atlan's enchanted domains. A world molded by our collective imagination, where science's remnants intertwine with the tendrils of magic. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we have cake.
In our first announcement, Jason is offering cake to everyone who goes to the podcast.
Jessica.
I hope you got a flower.
Cake or death?
Cake or death?
Cake, please.
Very well.
Death for you!
Give him cake. Very nice.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Tanzanite's cake might be laced with something, 50-50 chance, depending on, the mood at the time. So, announcements. None. Okay, moving on. What?
Merch?
I guess. Yeah, merch.
Merch in our summer schedule, I guess.
There you go. Merch.
Yeah, we almost summer scheduled early without summer scheduling.
Sorry.
But we will be flipping to a hit or miss
Instead,
schedule.
we one-shitted.
Yeah, we did.
It was my dad's birthday.
But next week, we will be off on Sunday, and then we will be back the week after, and we'll
Jessica,
go flippity
in the future,
floppity.
please ask your father to age more conveniently.
Will do.
God damn it.
Okay. And just as an FYI, I will be broadcasting from Philadelphia, I think, on the 25th, which is our next return date. So that'll be fun.
That's not a real place.
It's closer to y'all, so I can come visit afterwards. I'm excited.
Whee!
And then after that, you will see us play together in person, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to do that asynchronously just because we want to make a big mess of it.
Make it
I think we're recording it while you're here and then airing it the week after.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had too many issues live streaming in person live in the past. I think it's just easier that way.
And I don't have to carry like half a bajillion pounds of equipment across the United States. That was not going to happen at all.
In fairness, you left most of it here, so I have some of it in my closet. In there. Where Jessica lives.
It's a gift. Yeah, that's where Jessica is. If you look too closely at the cracks, you might see Jess, or at least her headset. Any other announcements? I think we're clear. I am so excited for this next segment, brought to you by the letter B and the sound M. It is Word of the Day.
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
Today's word of the day is concatenate.
Oh,
I know
Link
that word.
Together in a series of chain, in series or in a chain. You link up.
I like
love that
word.
I love that
word.
I love that function in Excel.
Yes. Yes.
It is. It's a function in Excel where
Anybody
you can
who works with spreadsheets and somebody left you something all separated out and you need to put it back together for, I don't know, addresses or gifts or all sorts of reasons you might need to concatenate names or
Yes, exactly.
Do they still have deconcatenate? I haven't used it in a while.
Usually that's text to columns.
Okay, I also do this different thing. I have a formula that lets me choose based on nerding out on Excel. That's not what you're here for. You're here for fun stories.
That's our other podcast.
Honestly, I think that could be a good podcast. Is like
It's the
basic
darkest deep holes of
administrative
Excel.
skills. Well, no, like basic administrative skills that are useful to know. Like instead of, I don't know, like some people.
The name of that podcast is Spreadsheets.
That actually sounds like a legit name for one too.
Uh,
Well, thank you for joining us on this June 11th with the sun shining and the beautiful days. I did hear that y'all, my New Yorker friends, were living under a smog cloud a little bit ago. I hope you survived that okay.
Yeah, a little hazy.
Yeah, Canada trying to smoke you
484
out.
out of 500 on the air quality index. No big deal. NBD.
You know, it's a West Coast normal thing. So the people over here were like, yeah, what's the problem? And I just was really enjoying the dichotomous experience because I'm like, yeah, it's not a problem over here, but like in New York, like half those apartments don't have AC.
yeah,
Much less
exactly.
air filters.
Half of those apartments are very far up in the air, which is not the case in most
Yeah.
of the Northwest.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
the Northwest, it all lies on the ground anyways. Like that smoke is unavoidable.
But I mean, honestly, I feel bad for the people in Canada who are dealing with the actual fire. Like, yeah, that sucked for a couple of days for us, but not in any way close to how it sucks.
Legitimate perspective on that right there. Well, now that we're talking about fire, it's time to remind everybody where we are with the fires. Do we want to roll for this? Because I believe you're looking for a fire-breathing dragon. Roll for recap.
Sure.
I rolled an 11.
Recap. Roll a recap.
Do you know how to recap?
13.
Ooh.
Rourke, I should have refused to say your number so that when they start to argue, because I should have refused because they will make the other one.
But they sit there and hold out like it's some sort of big mystical experience.
that's
I'm
what
like,
I'm saying. I
just
should've
say your
held that.
numbers. Get over with it.
Get over with it.
Come on, Jess. Come on, Larissa. Just say your numbers.
Yeah, that favorite.
I said 17.
Oh, didn't hear
Well,
you.
never mind.
We were busy
Good job,
crouching.
Good job.
Way to be assholes, you two. Way to go. Way to go.
We can improve. We can become more of the A.
It's my default state. You know that. You're married to me.
That's not an excuse.
Okay. Dark side is coming in.
But it's a reason.
Larissa, what'd you get?
Natural one.
Oh, okay. Well, now we get to enjoy a moment of Larissa as storyteller.
Double recap. Natural one. You have to do 2 recaps.
Recap the past and the future.
I don't even remember the one. Like I really don't. I don't remember where to start. Like
When you roll in that one, you have to start from the very beginning of the very first session and just go all the way through.
That is the end of the podcast right there. We would be listening. This has been a while. What are we? Season 2 of a break into
Episode 30.
30. Episode 30. Woo. But yeah, that's
I think there's 23 or 24 in the first season. So yeah, we have like a couple hundred hours of this season on the internet, plus the 12 hours or so we played before we started recording. So
there's a
good
lot.
times. Larissa, recap all that. Go.
God damn it.
Do you need help?
We woke up at the market, the tower place. Tanzanite got a new sword. Shield. Asher got a new sword
And
because, huh?
and a tattoo.
I was getting there.
Okay.
Asher got a new sword because the guy saw the vendor saw how shittily the other one was looking and decided to take pity on him and gave him a very good deal just so that he didn't have to know that he was using that sword. And what else?
It was.
I did not. Oh.
It was just very dark. Go
Oh. And Asher got a tattoo that helps him be a little bit sturdier so that he's not quite so squishy. Trixie did not end up buying anything, which she is okay with. And then we traveled back via our same mounts. We got back to
Very,
Fun's
very
camp.
speedily because those mounts were uber speeders.
Yes. We got back to our camp, or where we parked the boat, and proceeded to try to figure out exactly how we were going to draw this dragon out. And that's, I feel like, pretty much where we left off.
We were at went to the forest and then went to like the last place they were able to fight it off, where there's like an ancient building underground that it was trying to dig into. That's
Right.
where we left.
Beautiful.
Good job.
You're hanging out in the forest,
Yeah.
listening to the beautiful sounds of nature.
Sorry.
We were trying to play it at the same time. I think that's why it wasn't working.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not winning this battle. Why is it not clicking?
Play pause. Play pause. Play pause.
What are the three of you discussing? So bring down the volume so you can actually have your discussion.
Well, the plan is that we don't have a plan. So
Aside here, you had 2 weeks.
we talked a little bit.
Plot.
It's not that. It's just like,
See, the plan is like not. The problem is not fighting the dragon. The problem is getting the dragon to come to us. Is where we're stuck. But
I think our plan is a good idea of getting them here.
yeah, I think we've got that figured out. We just need.
A trap.
Okay, so
Out of character, we decided we don't want to dungeon delve into this thing looking for bait because we don't want to spend the whole thing dungeon crawling through this building and then still not fight the dragon. Okay.
So one of us should go talk to.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to the nightmare buddy, the nice dream shepherd. I'm gonna say, hey, do you think that you could send a dream to the dragon?
ooh, I like this. This is exciting.
Is that you here or the nightmare shepherd?
That was me.
Okay.
But I think think that would be good. Yeah. So how do you want me to?
Well, I think we'll need a little time to set up, but I think I was thinking that if we could send it a dream of something that would appeal to it, like at this location or somewhere that we can lay a trap for it, then hopefully that would bring it here.
ooh. Can we retcon so that I would have come with you, because now I have an idea. I'm better
I don't think
bouncing
we're
off
like
people.
particularly divided. We're all like
You're
standing
all-
together. So
You're all in the forest together.
What if you send the dragon a dream that we're flying around with a bunch of treasure in the ship, and then I go flying the ship around trying to draw it out, and then I can like lead it hopefully to wherever y'all are. I think that if anything, I can at least kind of hold my own with the ship. In terms of speed and possibly, maneuvering. But I think it would be a good way to connect whatever dream we send it to bring it to us. Could that work?
You get kind of a considering nod and thought. So dreams of you.
Well, dreams of. I mean, it would definitely recognize us, right? And I look, and Trixie turns to Asher and Tanzanite, or at least
I mean, we're so
you and I, Tanzanite and
I feel like
Trixie.
especially in that fight, we were so inconsequential to it that maybe it wouldn't even remember us. I'm not sure.
I mean, dragons are around for a long time. I have a feeling they don't really forget things.
Regardless, I would like to be more consequential this time.
Well, I think if we emphasize the boatload of treasure, that might.
Maybe the dream is like the three of us hauling valuable old world objects from this site into the airship.
Maybe.
Like what?
From the tower?
Like a dream montage.
No, the spot where it last attacked the forest.
The spot where we are right now. There's a building underneath here that it was trying to get into. So if we send a dream that we've looted this building and carrying out boxes and things and putting them in our airship, maybe it will come to try to get whatever it was looking for in this building.
Sounds plausible.
I wish they knew movies so we could see like a movie montage of them moving boxes and setting traps.
You're the best.
Do we want to just fight it in the airship or
I don't. If
on
I'm
the
being
ground?
if I'm being honest, I don't think everybody should be in the airship if we do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're going to fight it on the ground, we should try to find a way to ground it.
I mean, that's something I could also try with the ship. We have the I guess you could call them anchors, but whatever those were that we used to bind it to the earth and hold it in place. I feel like those might be a good starting point. Yes? No? Maybe?
Sorry, I was reading a spell.
Rora, can you remind me, were we notified of whether the ship had any, like, weaponry in relation to the magic that makes it fly? Like,
You had seen it. There were locations where weaponry could be attached. You also were, I'm pretty sure I described to you how the anchors kind of seemed like they could perform somewhat as a bit of weaponry.
right.
Could you shoot it with
but
the anchors and drag it to the ground?
That's what I was kind of thinking. To at least, in theory, get its attention and maybe ground it. Rurik, can you? But in terms of like the magic that actually makes it fly and has enhanced it, nothing like missile projection or project missiles or anything like that, right?
Nothing that is currently attached to it aside from the anchor system is projectile. when I was describing it to you, I was trying to leave the idea that there were places for those to be attached,
Okay.
but that you all would have to go and find those types of things if you wanted to do it.
So what you're
Okay.
saying is it does not currently have machine guns.
And then I gave you a tower to go explore, and nobody remembered that, so they don't get any of those toys because they left the tower already.
That was a rough session. I feel like we were
Suck
all
it.
a little zony on that one.
Well, it's not even
Oh.
that. It's just like we were all. I feel
Remembering.
like we were all preoccupied in trying to figure out how the hell we're supposed to fight this dragon. That it was like we couldn't
stuff.
really. Yeah.
So daunting.
So
I'm just
Dragon
being a
is
brat.
daunting.
you never.
Well, when we go back, we'll ask about machine guns for the airship.
If there's still a ship.
And also maybe like a hammer and repair kit for the airship.
Hammer nails.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be that simple.
It's like in a video game where you just fix things and it just fixes it with a hammer.
Okay, so we send it a dream that we're looting this place. And I take off. Wait, can you figure out where someone is based on if you can get into their dream? I say to the Nightmare Shepherd.
No, that's not how it works.
I mean, I really don't think we want to fight it in its own lair. We should bring it to us.
I agree. I'm just trying to think of if there's a way to get its attention once I'm up in the air besides just flying around in loop-de-loops.
What if, just one last idea before we finalize, would it be better to sit in the dream, have the dragon come to us, and then you go up in the air to like maybe shoot something down to keep it down as like a surprise?
What do you mean shoot something? What do you mean?
Well, surely there's like rope or an anchor.
Well, that's what we're saying. But
You go up after, so like it doesn't know you're in the sky.
so you want me to surprise it.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't
would
know. Just an idea.
well, I would have to go back to our ship cuz we didn't take the ship to the
Oh.
No, we took the tree portal.
Right. Never mind.
Tree portation.
I mean, I'm sure, and I turned to Bonnie. I think Bonnie's still there, right?
Yes.
I turn to Bonnie. I say, I'm sure you could send me back and I could
Yeah,
head
if we want to
close
camp out
by.
overnight, I can get you back.
And Bonnie has a horse drive the airship over here.
Do you think you could send someone to guide me here?
I could get you. Well, no.
Okay. So maybe Tanzanite and I and our friend Nightmare Shepherd, do you have a name?
He
Didn't we
does.
go over this?
They don't.
That's what I'm saying. We went over this.
You watch as the Nightmare Shepherd looks directly over at Tanzanite. Do I have a name yet?
Do you want one?
What did I write?
Their eyes don't waver.
Philip.
1 second.
Hold, please.
Please hold while we
please.
look at what we would like to name the creature that has allied itself with us.
Okay, here we go.
Freddy Krueger. Oh my god, name him Freddy.
Dinkum
He's a
Dunkwins.
Nightmare Shepherd.
Okay, I can't for the life of me see where I talked about this. So
I think he said he wanted to earn a name someday. I don't think you actually gave him one.
yeah. I'm gonna just lean over to Asher and be like, he doesn't have a name. He's waiting to earn one.
Can we just like give him one so I don't have to call him Nightmare Shepherd? It's like, hey you, elf, or hey you, Squirrel. That's weird.
What about
Hey, you.
I was gonna say NS because Nightmare Shepherd, but that's hard to say. Ness?
Nessie.
Ness? Ness?
Nestor.
Nessie? Nestor?
Nessalotopus. I got nothing.
Nos? No, we already have that.
Shep.
Shep. Nah, that's weird.
Shep. Nah, come on. Shep's a good name.
If I want to look over at him and be like, Shep? See if his eyes do anything at that.
I feel like his eyes don't do much ever.
Roll an insight check.
That's not good. Let's see. Plus, okay. So 17.
You look over as you say that, and lidded eyes, no flicker of emotion, just patient waiting.
All right, Shep it is. And then I'm going to go up to Shep and put my hand out and be like, Shep? Nice to officially meet you. I am Tanzanite.
You hear a deep, deep inhale. Nice to meet you again, Tanzanite.
And then I'm going to turn to the others and be like, this is Shep.
Hi, Shep.
Hi.
Looking around really, really slowly, eyes still heavily lidded. Hello again, everyone. So
All right,
I'm
now that
Shep.
we have names.
Is Bonnie like, where did this guy come from?
Roll an insight check on Bonnie.
I'm not sure she knew he was there or not. She never acknowledged him.
Well, that would be Rourke talking to themselves.
That's an 8 for me, so I don't know. I got nothing.
What'd you get, roll?
8. My insights suck.
Yeah, you've not seen them interact whatsoever.
Funny that. How convenient.
Very convenient for me.
Okay, so Bonnie, you were saying you could have. Do you have someone that could lead me back here once I go through the tree?
Yeah.
Bonnie said she'd come with you.
Just.
No,
we'll
that's
figure
not
it
what
out.
she said. You interrupted her.
Don't worry about it. So we're camping?
Well, how long will it take me to get here, do you think?
I don't really know. I've not traveled the way you traveled, but to get back, we'll have to do that in the morning.
Okay.
How long would it take a rock to get from there to here?
She kind of looks around. Good air, this part of the forest. 6 hours?
I turn to Asher and I go, no. We'll just do it in the morning. I turn to Asher and I go, no, I know what you're thinking, and no, we'll just do it in the
I'm
morning.
not thinking anything. I don't know what you're thinking.
I figured you were thinking about turning into a rock and taking me there, and then flying back.
I can only do that for an hour.
I know. But I'm assuming that's why you asked.
She didn't know how long it takes to travel by airship. The airship travels about the speed the rocks travel because we followed them. So if it
He was
takes a rock
mathing.
6 hours. it takes an
Calculus.
airship an approximate amount of time.
Trigonometry. All right. So, what are you up to for the day? What plans are you making?
Well,
You're
what time did we arrive? I thought we arrive.
It was like late afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Are you putting anything together now while you have time? Before, is this the location you're going to use as your trap?
Yeah.
I have a couple things that I would want to do.
All right. If you all want to take a turn sharing what you're doing, what prep you're making in this location, go ahead and share
Just
it.
is like, damn it.
This is so hard.
You're so far away.
Will Bonnie get mad
Doesn't
at
anybody stay in one space anymore?
Will Bonnie get mad at us if we cut down trees?
I mean, you
I
can
would
ask
just
her.
ask
but-
for. Yeah, I was like, just ask her first.
Hey, Bonnie, are we allowed to use trees to make traps? Like cut them down? Or is that
Oh.
bad?
I mean, always ask the tree first, but of course, you don't want to run into a tree that might cut you back.
Oh,
And now?
Good to know. I'm trying to think of what we could build while we wait. Like a hole with spikes in it that we like cover up, or is it like maybe two big logs that go like this and smash in the head, or anything else from an Indiana Jones movie? I don't know. A large
I love that
boulder that
Indiana
will take
Jones
the
movies are
dragon
the-
down the tunnel.
I feel like
is there a way we can make? I've never done this, clearly, but I have heard people use tiny little traps for like rabbits and not squirrels. Ferrets.
Not squirrels.
Ferrets.
Ferrets.
Small
certainly not
pigs.
squirrels.
Could we make a big one of those?
That would take a lot of wood and a lot of time.
You're right.
Do you have?
That was my contribution.
I could maybe fabricate one. DM.
What are you trying to fabricate? Sorry, I was trying to pull notes up as you
Like
were
a
saying.
large trap. You mean like a mouse trap or like an ankle trap, like a bear trap?
I don't know, like the one Jessica is thinking, like the one where either like it collapses down on them, or maybe like grabs the tail, pulls it up. I don't know.
I wonder if there's something. And Trixie turns to Bonnie and says, "Can you like manipulate vines?
Yes.
Do you think it would be possible if we got the dragon on the ground that you could at least tie one of its legs down and keep it down along with the... I'm just trying to think. If we can pin it in place with the anchors, and maybe if we can keep its tail in place, then we only have to deal with the head and the front feet. Essentially taking away like half of its weapons, at least in terms of physical. Another option that we could try, depending on how we're able to pin it, is maybe we could try to pin down its head, and Bonnie could try to put vines around its mouth so that it can't bite or breathe fire.
Mm.
This sounds reasonable.
Do you
Is
have
that what
strong
we
enough
should-
vines to hold a dragon like that?
As she's talking to you, she gestures, and if you want to look at the screen, you can see the middle of y'all, kind of
For
like
those
the
listening,
location. And what you're looking at is there's a little bit of a valley of sorts, trees, ferns, plants, all around, and there are vines growing here. So Bonnie begins utilizing the vines and trying to craft what you've described. she's going to be rolling a survival check to see if she can, because easily within her power is the nature magic, but she's trying to see if she can actually create a successful trap. So you can see her working on that, and it's really taking her some time.
Okay, so
If any of you want to evaluate her work, you can go ahead and roll your own checks, whatever you think would make the most sense. If you're actually like physically looking at how the vines are coming together, stuff like that, you could roll an investigation or a nature check. If you're just kind of observing, you could roll a perception check. If you are trying to make sure that it would actually be a functional trap, you can roll a survival check or something along those lines. Whatever you think would be what you're doing as you see her working. But that's what she's doing right now.
I would say I would probably like go over and just kind of see in terms of like yeah, I guess I could like assist in the survival check, although I'm not sure my survival is actually that great. Oh, never mind, I lied, it is.
So if you're assisting, you can give her advantage on that roll she just made.
Yeah, because I mean, if anything, would have.
Can I give her bardic inspiration? Or am I too late?
I think for this, it's going to take her a little bit. I don't know that would fully work. And she already made the roll earlier. So this would just be like as Trixie comes over. Nope, the first roll stands. That was terrible. But she seems to be working and you're assisting for the interim, Trixie? Mm-hmm. Okay. What are the other two of you up to?
I was hoping to kind of watch, and I think this would be perception, so correct me if I'm wrong. Trying to watch to understand how it works. So, like, God forbid something were to go wrong, I could maybe help correct it in the moment.
So you're also watching Bonnie work?
Yeah, but just watching, I'm not helping.
Okay, so that's two people not doing anything else but watching Bonnie work.
Well, that's not my original plan, but I have other stuff I do want to do.
I don't know what else I would do. I'm very lost in this dragon capture.
Okay. So Trixie, you're not assisting her?
If it's a choice between assisting her and doing something else, I have other things that I wanted to do.
Okay. And do you want to hold Jess for what Tanzanite would do based on what your two partners are doing? Or...
Maybe. Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over away from the group and I'm going to say, Dragon, a giant pest requiring a trap for pests, but bigger. I'm going to create a huge sized mouse trap as big as I can in the field. I just want to see. Tanzanite, is this what you meant?
Okay, so you make it huge, and that's exciting and impressive.
The idea would be to catch the head or the tail, I think.
Okay, you're looking to like capture a limb to disable from a limb space. Okay. And what skill are you using to do this?
Animate or performance or creation.
Okay. So it's just a temporary one for right now?
Yeah. It could last up to 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a prototype.
You craft this thinking deeply about how these tricks and traps might work. Could I get you to roll an intelligence check just to see how successful this is? And then since Tanzanite, you were called over to look at this, if you responded that you would check into what he was doing, could you go ahead and roll an investigation check to see what you understand of it? But first, Asher, roll that intelligence check to see how you're doing.
Hang on.
How are you doing?
There we go. 19.
Awesome.
And you said intelligence for me?
No, sorry, didn't mean Tanzanite. I meant who was going over to check it out?
Me,
Tanzanite. Oh, Tanzanite. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Tanzanite, roll an investigation.
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 17.
I think that overall, Tanzanite, you kind of checking the homework, so to speak. Asher, considering what he's known about traps and things from stories and books, but also just recent experiences of having encountered some of these different things and some of the maybe discussions that are happening amongst loots and liars as far as like ways to create a safe house and other locations. You seem to have a really solid trap that you think, given the right circumstances, you could use to capture a portion of a gargantuan red dragon.
Just a portion though. One single serving.
One toe.
But
Yeah,
look,
I mean,
I mean, it is a
Tell your
little bit
body
of
toe.
it is a little bit of looking at the size of this. I mean, you're looking at a huge trap, which seems huge to you, but you remember the size of the dragon, and you know that this wouldn't capture the entirety of the dragon. In a totally freak moment, you might possibly catch it at the neck, and that would be amazing. But it's much more likely to catch the tail or catch a claw. This is definitely a solid. If it caught a wing, that would be amazing, because then you would knock it out of flight possibly, or damage it enough to knock it out of flight. But at this size, there's no way to actually capture a gargantuan creature.
Asher, I think it's awesome. It
Okay.
definitely, won't get all of it, but
I'm just
even
trying
if
to
we
stick it
got,
on the
like,
ground.
a toenail, that anything would help.
I'm just trying to keep it from flying away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think the one thing that you both see as you're looking at this is that it is an obvious item right now, and there would need to be some sort of work to make it
Guys.
difficult
I
for.
bet Bonnie could like cover it up with forest stuff.
Hearing her name, she stops working with the vines. Like, do you need me to stop? What?
No, we can do that after. You're good.
Oh,
Or
okay.
maybe, is this a fairly well lit area that we're
Well,
in?
it's daytime right now.
Yeah.
The
If it were to be daytime when the dragon came, it's a well lit area.
yes.
Okay. Perfect. Never mind. Well, we have a bit more time to think of camouflaging if we want to do that.
I think
but-
you and I could work on that while they go as well. When they go get
Yeah.
the airship.
Exactly.
Okay. Seems like a little bit of a plan. And then also
What have we had?
we explode it. The dragon, not us.
Mhm.
Remember that time you blew up that other dragon? We should do that again.
Hopefully I can remember how I did it. I think I do.
Heat of the moment, They'll come back to you. I'm sure.
Eventually, evening's rolling in. Bonnie's finishing up her work. Trixie, what were you up to during this time, since you weren't assisting Bonnie? And you,
I'm actually. Oh wait, I can't do. I guess no, I can do what I was going to do before. I'm going to spend a little bit more time, giving my shovel some TLC
Mm.
in the form of key.
yeah. How much key are you
in
giving
the form
it?
of key. Since this is just in case, let's say half. So 9 points of key at this point, I guess. 9 times. Yes. 9 points. No.
And can-
Yes. What? Oh, sorry, I lied. Only 8, because I'm still only 16 levels in monk, so I only have 16 key points. Sorry. I wanted to save half of them. I forgot.
Okay. So you feed the shovel your key. Can you go ahead and roll an insight check?
$22.
22. With a 22, you invest and you focus in that meditation space that you get into when you're kind of caring for this weapon. You can see it getting healthier and stronger, and you can even feel that it's recharging itself with your key and ends up at full charge. What was your total again for your insight check? Sorry.
22.
22. You get the sense that it's hungry for more. And you almost hear a voice. But it's not really a voice, but the sense is more.
Sentient shovel.
Just a little more.
I'll push 4 more points of key in.
As you push those 4 points of key in, you hear a little happy gurgling in the back of your head. And as you push that last bit of key in, you can feel that it's on the cusp of something. Something is so close to happening, but it doesn't ask for more at this point. But you can sense that it could take some more key.
Selfish shovel.
But it's not doing or saying anything.
I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to leave it at that.
Just so you know, you can set the staff at full charges.
I don't know what that means.
If you click on the staff.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then you can see it has 10 charges. And you can make sure that those are full up. They weren't full up earlier. I did touch it on accident, so I may have filled it up already, or I may have unfilled it. I don't know which I did. I did something.
Okay.
Okay.
I want some more.
Lisa.
I don't know.
Please, sire. I think if they're all empty, that means you could check them off. If they're all full,
yeah,
it's. But
yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get to the point where I could alter the charges. I forgot. I was looking in the wrong spot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just have to actually click on the thing and clickety clackety.
I just have to touch the button.
Touch the button. All right, so all of you are engaged in these different activities. Evening rolls in. Bonnie is done. Did anybody have anything else they were going to try to do? Anybody going to try to stay up late tonight?
Where is the building? Is it in the center of this map, where those trees are?
The what?
The building that the dragon was trying to get into.
You can't see any evidence on the surface of the building, but if you're looking for it, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
Yay, Sean.
18.
18.
Yes.
You hunt around, and there's so much growth here, low-lying growth, not trees or there are a few, but there's just not very many trees. It looks like one tree in the center of the space has somehow grown in a place that was really scraped up. But you don't find anything of a building.
Okay. I was just gonna try to put a door into the building with fabricate to give us a place to camp, but if I don't know where the building is, I will not do that.
Okay. Unless you're sharing with your friends, I don't think anybody else is.
Does anybody else see the building that's supposed to be here?
As you say that, Bonnie just points directly towards the tree. I grew that over the top.
Oh, it's a lovely tree, Bonnie.
Thank you. I just didn't think it was wise to have it out in the open. Do you need me to uncover it?
Is there a door to go inside? I thought maybe we would camp in there.
Oh, that would be useful. And she goes up to the tree. She puts both hands on the tree trunk, and green tendrils sprout from her arms, her hair. She almost looks like she's becoming infused with it. And when she lets go, the tree takes a breath and begins moving off. And actually, the tree gets up and walks away.
We found the Outwives again.
Bonnie, hearing that, smiles and says, "Well, I'm enjoying this new spell. I can wake up nature." And this awakened tree disappears into the forest, revealing what looks like a kind of cinder block-ish shape. Multiple cinder blocks kind of like sticking up, and the tree's roots had kind of draped and wrapped around it, and there were little ferns growing in that area. There were little flowers, and these all just kind of slough off when the tree leaves. And you can see a protruding portion of this building in the center of this area here. You can see where dragon claw marks had scraped away, and you can see burnt bits and pieces. You can see where the rocks that are in this area might have been really hot at one point, and they'd slagged to the building that is here. And you can see evidence that a red dragon tried to burn its way in.
Still no door?
No door. No door.
Mordor.
Okay.
I'm going to say I need a door here. When is a door not a door? When it is a wall? And then I'm going to try to make a door in the wall using fabricate. Like just move the material around to like create a doorway.
So what material are you using for this door? I'm just curious.
Whatever it's made of. Like I'm making a doorway, not a door. Like I'm trying to make a passage inside the building, like through this wall or roof or whatever.
So you're kind of like using the fabricate spell to decompose the cinder blocks. What are you turning them into?
A shrubbery.
Sorry.
No, I'll use it to like frame a doorway, like an ornate like door frame. Like I'll just move the material out and like until.
I'm getting entrance to Diagon Alley vibes.
What is the, because you said intricate framing, what is the look of this doorway now? Like what is the intricate design that you've created?
I'm going to say there is like Roman columns up either side of the door, and then like the thing across the top, like there would be on like a Roman doorway, or like a picture he saw in an old book, like just to get the material out of the way so that we can go through.
Okay, so I think it takes 10 minutes of Asher working at this, and you all get to see industrial basic shape and component. morph out, change shape, and re-inhabit space as this intricate design and these columns and a lintel and all the decorative pieces, as every inch of the material that was the wall to make that space for the doorway has to also still be used. So the detail just has to grow and grow as Asher's sitting there working at this, getting an empty space. And there is now a truly impressive passageway into the dark.
And then I will.
There's even like a little set of stairs down because it wasn't quite perfectly level with the floor. And now there's like a little bit of a grand staircase down to the bottom. Tiny grand
And
staircase.
then I'll cast dancing lights into there so we can see inside.
You see a...
Like four torches in a square, like in the space.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll perception check if you're going in. With advantage because of the light. And the time that you've been spending here.
27.
18.
17.
Jess is getting some
Sorry.
ice cream.
I wish.
All right, so
Such a heavy sigh.
you get the sense that, of course, like many of these locations, that at one point this was the top level of an underground structure that had in the past additional ways to get to it, but those must have gone down deeper because this space looks like it is truly the top. You do see that there are some ancient artifacts littered around, some of the strange tubes and lenses and beakers that you've seen at apothecaries and such, so very familiar things to you all. But you also are able to make out that there are some of the strange vision devices that were used in the ancient world. The walls are covered in these intricate diagrams. They're not made of paper. It looks like in this space, for whatever reason, they were used decoratively and embossed in the walls. The floor is littered with debris that is rotted away, probably papers and books, but not things that held up as well as in some of the other ancient sites. This looks like a personal room. So, because despite the lab equipment, you can see that there is a bed, a dresser, or at least what used to be a bed and dresser. And while the walls are kind of made of, unlike the exterior space, which was that cinder block, the interior wall seemed to be this embossed and designed white marble. The floor itself was a polished cement, but you can see remnants of what might have been really rich carpets. There are even large arched openings with very shiny blank surfaces. The other furniture throughout the space, especially around the lab area, seems very functional and simple. Stools, that sort of thing. But it's all made of metal and plastic. It's all the things that have standed the test of time. And through your four dancing lights and the flickers and the way that lighting lands on everything, it creates this kind of warm but mysterious and intriguing space. It's not a sterile space. Even in its heyday, it wouldn't have been a sterile space. But now with the decomposed materials, it's definitely a place where you can see the ancient world, but also the personal living situation of an ancient scientist, and the art that they found valuable. I think, Asher, in addition, you note a doorway. And just because of your high percentage roll, you definitely think that doorway has to lead downward, but also you get the sense that this space can only be reached from below the building. That however they used to enter this space, they had created their entrances much lower in the space, and this particular one is kind of like the inverted side of the top. You also feel like, as you just are looking through, that everything's a little cattywampus. Like the building was more level and is not as level anymore. It's all off from what level should be.
Okay. Be like, everybody sleep with your head up this way, or all the blood will rush to your head. I'm gonna try to clean up a little bit, and then build a fire in the middle, so the fire doesn't light all the debris on fire, but maybe have my mage hand just push things out to the edges of the wall, and then have a little campfire, and just create a little cozy space for us to camp.
Sure, yeah, you build a little fire. The smoke builds up a little bit in the ceiling before pouring out the entrance that you made. So you kind of sleep under a small cloud of smoke, but it is drafting out that entrance, as that is kind of at the highest point of this.
It's like New York on Wednesday. But
yes, just a little closer. Yeah, you're able to make that happen. Anything else anybody's doing as the evening crawls in, or are we good?
I have something.
Okay.
I basically, before going to bed, just want to kind of meditate, commune, not necessarily talk to my shadows and stuff. I just sort of want to get in tune with them, prepare for what's coming, prepare them for what's coming as best I can. And I would say that my ultimate goal while meditating is to ensure that we're all on the same page, as there was that kind of tension for a little bit, if that makes sense. And that's what I want to do before going to bed.
Detensify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Don't roll a 1, because then you're going to be exhausted.
I want to use that one. I don't want to be owl. Well,
I don't know what she said, but...
it's from a TikTok.
Oh.
It's a little kid who's it doesn't matter, but I said I don't want to be an owl.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is my death thing, right?
No, just a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, just
Wisdom.
wisdom. Sorry.
Wisdom
so
saving
that
throw.
Is a max. So plus 10 is 19.
19. Awesome. Yeah, you're able to really take that time and get into that meditation space. You seem to have positive interactions with your shadows. Things seem more settled. You definitely feel like the Night Walker is really helping with that.
Nightwalker.
And just their shadows have kind of become more integrated with your shadows. And then you're able to focus on your spells for the next day and what you would like to have readied.
By the way, Jess, I tried to give you Bardic Inspiration, but I was on mute, so nobody heard it. My bad.
And cut.
I didn't need it, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Trixie, are you up to anything before sleep? Asher's kind of built out this place for you all to camp in. You've communed with your shovel.
I will take the first watch of just to make sure, like, I'm gonna sleep at the entrance rather than like inside, just for my watch, or not gonna post up at the entrance rather than inside for my watch. And then like as the watch ends, I'm just gonna like kind of slip only like partially inside. I'm not fully comfortable like sleeping underground unless I have to. So
Like stretched out, like your head's outside and the rest of you's inside.
nah.
Okay.
Just sleep in that living tree, just walking around, rock to sleep.
Awesome. So, yeah, the evening kicks in. There's a light smattering of clouds at first, and then as that little wisp of smoke continues to billow out of the doorway of the entranceway that was created, we can see it kind of curling and twisting in the air. Little anthropomorphic squirrel being sat outside the door where you kind of watch the smoke, seeing it spin out. It's thin and gray, and it smells of the wood or material that was used to burn it. And the smell is not distasteful. And then peering deeper within as the night continues on, we can see the small fire. Not terribly bright, but it's held together. It's kept safe. It's casting a warm glow on the walls and floor. And evening continues going. Does anybody have a second that is going to watch? Trixie, I need you to roll a perception check. Not that you have to worry about much because I rolled crap on my...
23.
Nothing occurs, just the smoke. Who's next if anybody is doing watch? Who do you wake up, Trixie?
Considering that I saw Tanzanite kind of like go off to commune with her shadows, in case she decides to stay up again, I would go to Asher next.
Asher, you're awakened. Do you stand watch? And if so, where do you take your watch?
I will like sit like with my back against the doorway, like feet across the doorway, like just sitting in the doorway.
Yeah, so could you go ahead and roll a perception check? Ooh, natural 20 on my side.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Shit's about to go down.
25.
You stay watching the spaces. Your legs start to ache a little bit just because being stretched out and bent at that angle, eventually the blood stops doing what it should do, and you adjust and continue sitting. Maybe you even take some time to think about how your current volume
mousetrap.
Yeah, your current volume of poems around mousetraps could be put together as a bestseller if only publishing were to reach the level at which you've heard it described as being in potential or in stories or in history. And you can see trees moving about, moving away. And as you watch, squinting your eyes, you can make out a small group of figures going up to each tree. And then they disperse. And after a while, that tree starts moving away.
Good plan. Nice move, trees.
Bonnie,
Yeah.
are those your people waking up the trees?
She peeks her head out the entrance. They're friends. They really get attached to trees. That's why I said ask first. But
Okay. Go back to sleep.
okay. She's asleep so fast, it's ridiculous.
Jealous.
Right?
It's what I dream of, actually, is being able to fall asleep like a small child. Just in motion, asleep.
Those were the days.
I'll take in my early 20s, man. Like bumping down like a makeshift highway in the middle of a desert in the military, and I'm like asleep on 7 duffel bags. Like,
How is that possible? We wish we had that still.
now I'm like laying in bed for 45 minutes in my king size pillow top, like, oh, I can't get comfortable.
You
Life is rough, you guys. Here in the first
finish
world.
up your watch, and there's time for one more person to take a watch. Who do you wake up, if anybody?
Did Tanzanite ever go to sleep?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did she get 4 hours?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say
Tanzanite, roll a perception check.
Perception. Natural 20.
Oh, you hear him.
I was gonna say to your detriment because then
So
you
now I
wake
need
up.
you to roll a deception check.
This is going to be so bad. Perception. 2.
Asher, her fake snore is terrible. But she is pretending to be asleep, which means she's vulnerable and not moving.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna
Chaos
pick
Goblin.
like a large blade of grass, like a long blade of grass, and then I'm gonna like tickle her nose with it.
I immediately jump up and just like, Wah!
Your watch.
Okay.
Okay.
And I go, hey, before you go to sleep, I thought of an idea, possibly for tomorrow. Should I tell you now or in the morning?
You can tell me now.
Oh, actually, DM, I don't know if I could do this. So because I can like change my spells.
Yeah.
Do I have to do that before I wake up, or can I do that after waking up and discussing?
It's up to you. Really, the whole that's your flavor for it. The rule is you have a full night's rest or a long rest, and you get the ability to change your spells up. How you do that in character is your decision. It could be
Whenever
something
your
that
little
you just
heart
do
desires.
during a meditation session early in the morning is like your normal prep. Like other people brush their teeth, you're sitting there rebraining your spells.
Cool.
But you should also still brush your teeth. Just saying.
Yeah.
It could be while you brush your teeth. Each tooth that you brush is actually a spell slot that you redo.
Yeah. Okay, so I have remembered I learned a spell that, let me find it. Okay. I can basically like hide like a symbol, and I can make it do something. So maybe I could like either just somewhere or in the trap, maybe I could set it for death. The only thing is like it like gets activated and then there's a time frame. So we could get the dragon in there, but it would take 10 minutes to get like hit by it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's worth doing.
I mean, we could. It's a little morbid, but if we could do that, and then if the dragon kills us, at least it will still die.
I'll keep thinking. and maybe I'll do that.
I mean, it could take us 10 minutes to fight a dragon. Who knows? Somehow in D&D, we just probably blow away a dragon in less than 10 minutes, or it us. But
Yeah.
This is the way around.
Okay.
But
Well, other than that, have a good night's sleep.
okay. All right. Love you. Good night. She just walks away and lays down.
All right. So
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what?
Well, you didn't hear anything. Asher didn't say anything.
So Tanzanite, go ahead and roll your perception check for your night of thinking.
So that's 13 plus 23.
Awesome. You have a magical night. The clouds have completely cleared away at this point. The smoke is barely a trickle. Your hair, long and light, kind of flows in a breeze. Moonlight just catches you perfectly. And as you're deep in thought, considering what spells might be the best to use for the next day or the morning that is coming, think about the attacks on the people that you sought to defend, some of the brutality. You close your eyes and take a deep breath. And can I have you make a wisdom saving throw?
Okay. Ooh, not good. Plus 10 though, so that was a 9. 19.
Okay. Not good is not 19.
Well, I had a plus 10, which I forgot.
As
Rolled
you're
a 9.
as you're in that space, the moon shining down on you, you realize the moon isn't shining down on you, it's asking you a question.
The question is, did you take acid before you go to sleep?
Yeah, can I understand the question? Can I like focus on that?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Insight. Okay, that's not bad. And 25.
25.
Yeah.
I did not have 25 on my table. That's higher than I had. So I'm going to have to search for a little bit of idea here. The question isn't a simple question. But what the moon does ask you is, what's the relationship of your peoples and the universe?
Definitely an acid trip. Why do you need to know? That's a very, very deep question.
42.
Um. Huh?
Why do we exist?
Are you okay?
Valid question.
I don't know. I don't know why. What is our purpose?
Everyone's is different.
What's your purpose?
To well, to help those recently passed to get to the next place.
So, what's mine?
Well, you're the moon, right?
I think I am.
Well, you have something to do with the tides, and you give light to those who can't see in the dark.
And that is useful.
Oh, yes. I mean, depending on who you ask, but, I can see in the dark, but I still even think it's very useful. And the whole tides thing, that's really useful too.
Oh, good. Thank you. I need to go. The night is young, and there are many people to watch over, and tides, whatever those are. And as you hear the whatever those are, the moon winks out and is gone. And you're left in complete darkness with just stars in the sky.
You broke the moon.
That was weird. The moon's gone. Can I go?
I natural 20'd. I got to use a cosmic event.
Hello? Moon? If you can hear me, I'm awake a lot at nighttime. Okay, bye.
Who am I? The fucking
Yeah, right.
moon.
Oh.
Hi, Jess's mom.
Hey.
Oh,
Everybody's clicking
hi, Mom.
all the time.
Tune in next week for Tanzanite's Guide to Existential Crisis. If you are if you are a celestial body. Oh God, so good.
Okay, morning arrives, the sun comes up, and Tanzanite, there's a moment where you're kind of concerned because the moon has not reappeared all night long. That the sun might not appear either. Because what is the moon but reflecting the sun? But the sun does rise.
Oh my God.
Day resumes.
At least you didn't break the sun. God.
Trixie,
Wow.
before you're ready for it, Bonnie comes over and says, okay, time to go.
Okay.
All right, I got you. And you start getting dragged.
I mean, you could have just let me get up.
Catch a squirrel by the toe.
Don't worry. I got you. And I think, Asher, as you're waking up, Tanzanite, you just see this. Bonnie and Trixie are through a tree before Trixie has truly gotten fully awake.
I thought I was a morning person.
Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Hi. There's new people in the chat. What, Asher and Tanzanite, do you do as morning has come in?
Probably going back to sleep for 30 more minutes.
Tanzanite and Asher have a lie-in. The tree that Trixie was dragged through, stumbling or not, however, whatever form her early morning took, is quick to get up on its root tips and move out of the valley that you're in after she leaves. There are still some trees around here, but that one in particular seemed to have been waiting and lingering and is now departing.
Nope.
I'd like to go up to the nearest tree that's still around and be like, are you awake?
I think that was the last tree.
There's still trees around.
Oh, okay.
But the tree you go up to and you say, "Are you awake?" Can you roll a nature check? I'm going to roll a random tables for trees.
17.
60. Okay. You say, "Are you awake?" And an acorn, boom, plops down on the ground.
Yeah, you're not gonna want to be here. There's a dragon coming later. So if you can like do the walking away thing like the other trees, you should do that.
A couple more acorns fall.
I'm gonna look up and see if there's like a squirrel or something in the tree dropping acorns at me.
Roll a perception check. Just a bit of early morning ridiculousness.
19.
Yeah, you easily make out a small
21, sorry.
black and white striped creature has been tossing acorns at you. Doesn't like you being under this tree.
All right. There's a dragon coming. You should go away.
It chucks another acorn in your direction.
I'm gonna catch it and throw it back.
Roll a dexterity check to see if you can catch an acorn chucked at you and then toss it back.
21.
You picked up a lot from watching Trixie.
No, that was my saving throw. 15. Sorry.
Oh, 15. Okay, you've learned a little bit from watching Trixie grab things out of the air and toss it back. It's a little bit of that hot potato moment where the acorn comes, and acorns hurt a little bit when they hit you, and so it's just a little bit of a moment of like juggling it and then tossing it back out. But you hear it through the tree, and then you hear multiple creatures kind of scatter. Birds fly out of the top of the tree, and little creatures flee from the bottom.
Acorns at me.
What are the two of you up to in this morning time as Trixie is going to be piloting the ship your way?
Ballroom dancing. No. We are
Roll a performance saving throw.
performance saving throw. I don't think I have that one. I mean, if anybody would have that one, it'd be Asher, but I think we're probably maybe taking fallen brush and stuff and trying to find, maybe dragging it over to where we're going to put the trap.
Like pre-setting some camouflage for where you're going to place it.
Preparing to. Yeah.
Okay. Tanzanite, are you engaged in that same work with Asher?
Yes. Sorry, I just found a spell and now I can't find
Tanzanite
it.
doing labor.
Found it, okay.
Such a long way.
Found it.
As you're both working, the Nightwalker comes up to you both.
Is it really called a Nightwalker?
It calls itself the Nightmare Shepherd, but it's a Nightwalker in stats-wise, with some additional special bonuses. Yeah, you see the creature come up to you and says, "I'm drained." And you can see exhaustion on its facade image. But I think I got it.
Do you need anything? Or just rest?
I'm gonna go. I can't rest in this, but tonight I'll get caught up on my rest.
Wait, you already sent the dream?
That wasn't the plan.
Oh shit.
I mean, sometimes it takes a few dreams, but
Well, here's hoping. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feel free to rest, I guess.
not in this. And you can see just being in daylight is not its thing.
You can go inside the building.
I've tried before. It really requires the moon to be out for me to sleep.
Ew.
As you laugh, you just see
I'm not
confusion on its expression.
Obviously, I'm not laughing because Asher doesn't know what's going on. That was just Jason laughing.
Tanzanite definitely makes noise.
You okay over there,
right.
Tanzanite?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
The moon definitely is in the sky.
I'm gonna look up for the moon.
Maybe,
The
I mean,
sun's
not
up.
now. Today's, it's today.
You had a
It's
light.
night.
You never know.
Trixie, you way too early in the morning are dragged out to a tree. She's clearly a morning druid.
Morning person, because
Yeah.
she's a morning person.
I think you even get the sense that she was tired of waiting for true morning. She was ready to go hours and hours before. But you're dragged through the tree and you pop back up in the glade where the airship has been anchored for the past several days. Please let me know what you are up to.
So what I kind of had in mind was to go to the ship and kind of just before we take off to kind of examine to try to understand the magical mechanics of it, like the material that it's made of that makes it go, and kind of test pushing a little of my key at it and seeing what happens.
Okay. So I would love for you to roll an Arcana check.
Okay. This is gonna go over well.
Well, the good news is she's also a little bit barbarian, so super well versed in the magic.
Oh yeah, solid.
That is a total of 3.
Hooray! It's not a 1.
You
It's not a 4 either.
you push some of your key towards the airship. Can you roll a wisdom saving throw?
Ding dong.
Yikes. 14.
You feel that key rebound back to yourself, and you don't lose the key points, but you get the sense that something is very, very jealous and upset a little. And it's strange to have something have an opinion that isn't you.
I'm gonna just like peek over my shoulder at my shovel. Because I'm assuming it feels similar to that. It's the same kind of pull. And I don't know how far away Bonnie is, but I'm just gonna kind of like mutter under my breath and be like, "Relax. It was just a thought."
Yeah, as you say, relax. It was just a thought. You hear Bonnie pipe up. What? Are you still waking up?
Yeah. Just morning affirmations.
What does that mean? Never mind. It is well into the day. We've got things to do, and
What time do you usually get up?
before the first bird sings.
Which is well before the sun rises, so that's not day.
Oh God, that stupid rooster. You
Elvis?
Elvis.
Oh,
Elvis.
R.I.P. Elvis.
Ugh. That creature. And even as you have that little bit of conversation, you can see the whole material is that material that was being harvested from the bottom of Canyonville. It's just been redesigned in some way, but you don't really understand how it works. You just know that it does.
Okay. Again, just a thought. All right. I am going to look at Bonnie and say, are you Are you riding with me, or are you going to make your own way back?
Directions, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know. You said don't worry about it. That wasn't exactly clear on
Oh, well, you've
what you
got
were.
to follow me. And as she says, you have to follow me. You watch her form begin to devolve smaller and smaller and smaller.
Wait. Let me get into the thing, please. Wait.
And all you hear is a little tweet as a bird begins hovering right in front of you, buzzing around.
Okay.
You gotta follow a hummingbird the whole way.
Okay.
For 6 hours.
You see another little small bird of a similar size and shape swing down and then get into a little coral.
Everything okay?
The first hummingbird, you hope, comes up to your face again. The other hummingbird comes dive bombing in. Again, there's chaos.
Okay.
Maybe you should make her just ride in the cockpit.
Well, I still won't know where to go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get in the ship.
You think you catch a nod from one of the hummingbirds, and then there's another flurry of feathers.
It sounds like you guys could use the trip to discuss whatever this is.
Okay.
And
You
I'm
see
gonna go
another
get in the
hummingbird
cockpit.
come down as you're climbing up into the airship. The other three hummingbirds having a little bit of a tussle or whatnot. You climb up into the airship in the pilot's booth, ready to launch.
In theory.
Okay, what are you doing? Talk to me about it.
Essentially, I want to make sure that I understand. Like, I want to completely familiarize myself with the anchoring system, so that I can at least understand how they could be used conceptually as. I can't think of the right word. I know there's a term for it, for pinning them down. And then
Harpoon?
yeah, that's it. And I'm mostly just trying to make sure that I'm I can see all of my angles of
Yeah.
try to figure out if there's a way that I can make it so that I can see behind me as well. I'm not exactly sure. The cockpit is inside, right? And there's no
It's completely contained inside, and you have these little magical viewports that give you different angles.
right. And do I have what would be equivalent to modern day rear view mirrors or something of that ilk? Or are they only forward?
Roll an investigation check to see if you can figure out how the system works.
I'm rolling the system works, the system called. I'm just sorry. Echolalia for the win. I'm rolling like shit today too. Oh, that's better. What is it? Investigation?
Yeah.
19.
Great. With a 19, you think you figured out that actually, if you look behind you, you can see behind you through these different vision tools. And with that 19, you think you understand how you can switch them to something that's slightly more forward, so you don't have to turn around and look behind you to see them. But that means you have to switch other vision tools to those locations. They don't seem to stack or multi-monitor or anything like that. So you can, in fact, move those to closer to your front vision. It's a little discombobulating to see front and back at the same time once you kind of switch those views around. But you are able to switch those views.
It's like fucking Mario Kart.
Yes, exactly like Mario Kart.
Okay. And I'm just gonna speak out of like one of the tubes and be like, Bonnie, if you can hear me, can you move to the front of the ship, please, so I can see you?
Roll a perception check.
25.
You see a hummingbird move into position at the front of the ship.
All right. I retract the anchors and...
As you retract each anchor, they each pull up a quick little tiny screen that shows the reduction of the size of the anchor and then the true chain being pulled back into the ship. It sags as it comes back up and then it clicks back into place. And as each one comes up, you see a different hummingbird at each of those locations attacking the chain as it gets rolled back up. The hummingbird at the front does not change location.
All right, then.
If we had those airship machine guns, them hummingbirds would be sorry.
Bonnie takes off, or at least the hummingbird you assume is Bonnie takes off. Tired of it.
Assuming I can kind of take off right after it.
All right, go ahead and roll the best roll ever. This is the chase of the hummingbird. The hummingbird got a natural 18 plus 9. What'd you get?
What am I rolling?
What do you think you would use to keep up with a speedy hummingbird seeming to move in a straight line? How would you go about? What skill would you use to keep up with it? Every time we do these rolls, you need to use a different skill.
I mean, I feel like at first it would start off with perception.
Okay, roll your perception check.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll because 19.
19. You lose ground, but you're able to keep your eyes on them, and you feel like you might be at a disadvantage in the future if you lose too much sight, if you fall too far behind. But it takes a bit for the airship to pick up speed, and it doesn't take Bonnie long to realize that you're slowly lagging behind before she zips back a little bit and kind of does the back and forth of a leader who's moving faster. But then as you pick up speed, you seem to be going better and better. A wind picks up and starts drifting you slightly sideways, but even worse for Bonnie, makes her flying erratic as she is flying horribly erratically. What do you do to keep going as now you are following a tiny little object? It's almost like chasing a snitch.
I would offer to roll an acrobatics check to try to counter the list of the boat, to try to almost give Bonnie like a windbreak, kind of, even if we were flying side by side rather than her leading, but like to kind of protect her from the draft or the errant breeze. If that makes sense.
Sure. You can go ahead and roll. This is like you trying to place yourself to protect Bonnie, not to keep up with the erratically flying Bonnie.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's mostly trying to like direct the ship to counter the breezeway that's like causing me to drift.
Okay, so let's go with that dexterity-based acrobatics of just like you controlling the ship in such a unique and special way. Let's go ahead and roll that. DC is a little high on that.
Well,
huge ship, tiny creature.
That is a 13. I rolled a 2.
Ouch. Yeah, you try to position.
We're both flying erratically.
It is a bit of a crazy wiggle woggle zigzag, and you know that you've crossed your own path somehow in the process of trying to shield and follow. So that is the first failed of the race. You haven't quite lost sight of her, but you definitely feel like that was a dangerous bit of stunt flying, although you are much more aware of the unique and versatile moves that this airship can make. So next time you
Always
have
a
to
bright
do.
side.
Next time you have to do extreme airship flight patterns, give you advantage on a flight check.
If the dragons are there, might also be screaming. Who knows?
That is the first fail. 1 win, 1 fail. You got to get 3. So again,
Of one or the
Bon-
other.
Bonnie is flying, pulling things together, seeming to be much more on course. She dodges the front of the airship as it almost smacks into her and zips ahead again. But you see that there are 3 little hummingbirds ahead of you.
And I would like to roll a survival check to see if I can figure out which one is still Bonnie.
Survival check of all the things. Okay, go ahead and roll that and tell me what you got. Let's see if that's even.
It's a natural one.
You've lost her. You have no idea which one you're following. That is the second fail. You are desperately trying to catch sight of Bonnie or either of the other 2. What are you going to do? This is the last one. If you fail or if you succeed, then we'll be neck and neck.
Got this.
You can do it.
I am going to slow the ship down so that it hover?
With depending on the breezes, it can be difficult, but you can
I'm
try.
slowing it down to like a crawl so that it's
Okay, so what skill are you going to use to make sure that it's staying in a hover?
well, I'm not even if it can't hover, if it can't just actively hover, then I'm just going to slow it down so that it's like it's very apparent that I'm I'm not trying to keep up at this point, if that makes sense.
Oh, so you're giving up on the skill check, so you automatically fail.
No, not that.
Okay. Then you gotta
Let me finish.
Give me more information.
I'm trying. So I want to slow down the ship so that I can reduce the amount of noise so that I can speak into the speakers again and say or maybe yell, I guess, to see if Bonnie can hear me. And be like, Bonnie, I'm struggling a little here. You're gonna have to help me keep up better. And I guess I don't know, animal handling at this point. I don't know.
So you're trying
Persuasion.
to see if you can either you're trying to if you're trying to like
I
get
like it.
birds around you to maybe be helpful rather than hurtful. But you've definitely lost sight of Bonnie at this point. You could go ahead and roll an animal handling check if you'd like to, or you could roll a persuasion check. Animal handling is going to be kind of hard because they don't have, they can't communicate in common.
Then I guess just persuasion, I guess.
I mean, either one. Just saying the DC is going to be high on one, and I know that you're probably low on the other, so it probably doesn't matter. It's probably 50-50.
It's a 7. Is what it is. I can't control how the dice.
Yes, the dice have cheated you of everything. As you're trying to you're slowing down. You're trying to figure out where everything is. You're calling out. The moment you call out, the airship gets hit by a gust of wind and begins hurtling backwards, but not in the wrong direction. It's just definitely going to overshoot because you can tell as you've moved so swiftly, so quickly in this gust, it's pulled you into that jet stream current from before, but this is the reversed current. And you make out the billowing steam of hot air as the airship starts to come over the burnt and cindered barren wasteland that is known to be the home of a certain red dragon.
I am going to steel myself, and I am going to try to like clear my thoughts a little, and I'm going to say a quick Predator Tanzanite and be like, I hope you're ready, because I think this is it. And I keep the ship steady and let the gust take me where it's going to take me.
You are jetted off, and the heat rising keeps thrusting you higher. And as you're going, can you roll a perception check as you steer out over the burning wastelands?
Doing so well today. That's another natural one.
And thus Trixie dies over. No. You are pulled even deeper into that space. A good 12, 16 hours off course in normal conditions, but this high heat, high speed air is just throwing everything off. And it is lucky that the heat is making the airship rise, because you catch off in the distance what sounds like a small roar, but you know that the dragon has spotted the airship. You have to fly back the other direction to get to your friends, or you could continue flying in a different direction to pull them further away, but you have been spotted by the dragon. You just don't know where.
I mean, I guess I'll try to fly back in the opposite direction. I'll try to pull a Yui.
Go ahead and roll a... I think that this is you using... You have proficiency with flying vehicles, but I feel like this is like a really, truly a flying survival check. So go ahead and roll... Yeah. Roll with your proficiency bonus.
And for
just
what?
your proficiency bonus, and this will be a... I think it's a wisdom throw.
So it's a wisdom...
It's not really about... It's about your instincts.
Save?
So I think it's wisdom. No, it's just a straight wisdom check plus your proficiency bonus. So I think you get a plus 10 to that total. Because your wisdom's plus 4 and your proficiency's plus 6.
Oh, okay. So wait, it's a plus 10 you said?
Total, yeah.
Okay, so that would be a 25 if I rolled above a 10.
Yeah.
Ah!
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Ooh. That's a...
Ooh, Rebecca.
That's a 29.
Awesome. You figure out where you're supposed to be going, and then you easily and swiftly regain control of the airship. That hot mess of what was going on before, no longer a problem, as you slip into a different jet stream, like your instincts are on point, and you begin hurtling back the other direction. Just in time to avoid, you see ahead of you on your rear-facing screens, but it's a moment of wondering, like, is that the rear or the front? That discombobulation of Mario Karting, as fire seems to be coming straight at the front of you through those two screens that are actually your rear view experience, and you have that kind of discombobulating moment. Oh my gosh, the dragon's in front of me. No, it's right behind you, and the fire flames off to either side, missing.
Can I like do the... I hate you so
Objects
much.
in this rear view screen may appear closer than they are.
Hate you. Can I like do the equivalent of like punching it?
Awesome. Yes. As you do that,
Am I rolling initiative?
roll initiative.
Ah, motherfucker. Okay.
I like this song.
You mean punching it in the face, or punching it like punching
No,
the gas?
like punching the gas.
Punching the gas.
Okay.
They knew what I meant.
I just wasn't sure if you were gonna like use the ship like a fist and just punch it.
Ram the dragon.
Not great. 17.
There is a rattling in the airship as another gout of flame jets your direction. It is not close enough to actually hit the ship, however. And then the dragon closes and gets ready to make another exhalation. Your turn. What are you going to do? Would you like some airship handling options that you could use?
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
So there is the punching it, which is what you said you were going to do, which I think you can still do, which increases your movement. If you think about it as action, movement, and bonus action, all three of those are possible movements. So this is really, really utilizing everything about the magical energies that are in the ship to make it move swiftly forward.
Okay.
You can choose the direction it's going, but this is swift speed to your ship.
Okay. So I would like to take my movement to continue forward. I would like to use my action to... I guess I would like to technically hold my action to react to when I can see like another breath coming to like evade or dodge, I guess. So like I'm thinking like a barrel roll to try to evade.
Barrel roll. So you can use your movement to go the regular movement that the airship can go.
Yeah.
You can use your action for things like adding more speed. The action's called to furl or unfurl. Because when you furl, you'll reduce your overall speed, but when you unfurl, you'll actually increase your overall speed. You can use it to dodge action, which is what you just described, take cover. You can also usually use weapons. You can use your anchors. Those are all possible actions.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use actions to put out fires, and other things like that. But in this case, you're holding the dodge action, using your movement to go your full movement.
Right. What are bonus option or bonus action options?
So some of the things that can be done as actions can be done as bonus actions. One of them is putting out a fire. It's like you have a portion of the fire put out. It's not the whole fire. It's working towards correcting things. So they include hull mishap management, which is just something's going wrong. Hull patching can be done as a bonus action. Then there are, let's see, all the crazy ones. There's a lot of fun, goofy ones in here. You can change direction, altitude, all the different things, wherever you're pointing the airship. And you can give directions to crew.
Which I don't have.
Yeah.
You should get your crew of those corn guys.
Yeah. Completely flammable crew. Great idea.
They're dragon fire resistant.
Their corpses are. Not when they are alive. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I guess I'm not using my bonus action because none of those seem necessary at this time. Yeah.
As you move, the dragon is clearly starting to catch up. You're going to have to throw on more hull speed, and in fact, as it blows out, can I have you do a dexterity saving throw for the ship, which is doodly-doo down here somewhere. I really should share this all with you, but I'll forget again in the next time I try to do it. Your dexterity. You have a +7 to dexterity as your modifier.
Okay. As my dex modifier or my saving throw?
The airship's dexterity modifier.
Okay, so my saving throw.
It's the same for the airships.
Okay.
Sorry.
18.
18. You swoosh and you just barely miss the flame coming after you as you take that dodge action and you escape the flame. The dragon is gaining ground, however.
Okay.
If you are not able to put on more speed, either through descent to increase speed, increasing the magical output of the airship, or other options, the dragon will overtake you and you will be in dragon to airship combat.
Okay. So I will, for I guess my next turn, then I will unfurl and use my movement to go.
So you're unfurling, that's doubling. You got your movement as well, so that's a big deal. Are you descending as well as your bonus action to increase the speed even more?
I guess if I can, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be using all three for additional movement. So that brings you closer to the earth.
Nitro boost. Bonus action, nitro boost.
So that brings you into closer contact with the ground, but because the high heat air lift that you got back over in the heat of space, you are really high off the ground. So you have plenty of room to move downward. You drop 30 feet per round while doing this, unless it's uncontrolled, but this is controlled still. Uncontrolled, you lose 60 feet per round. And as you lose that height, you know that to trade it to get height again, you would do only 15 feet up per round. But at this speed and everything, you start gaining distance on the dragon. And its next flame burst that happens as you've done this is well behind you.
Okay. I'm going to level out for now. And use my regular movement. And try to, in the meantime, try to get my bearings to figure out how far away from the camp I am, and send another prayer to Tanzanite and hope she hears me.
Tanzanite, go ahead and roll your death thing. Trixie.
Actually, I don't know if this would be a free action, but I just want to, I like just cock my head a little bit as like a cuddle movement. And I'd be like, Emmy, can you talk to Tanzanite?
Who? Oh, you're talking.
Emmy.
Emmy, that's kind of how you're flavoring the kind of prayer to Tanzanite sort of thing, or?
Well, I'm just. It's like if I guess if we could do it instead, yeah.
Okay.
So I got a 27.
You got a what?
27.
Awesome. So Trixie, you are.
Except I say it in a more panicked and probably very much loud voice, but like.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if. Okay, Emmy. Okay. You, Trixie, are using movement, and your action is lookout. Really, is what we call it when you're trying to figure out where you're located and figure out stuff, navigational needs. But you've also leveled yourself out. So perception check. It's your perception.
23.
You think you're on the right heading, slight course correction, and you can get there if you really are able to stay ahead of this monstrosity. Tanzanite, you get images in your head. It's an image of Eni, and it's flames, doom, despair, and death. And a huge sense of urgency and panic. Because to this little creature, what's happening behind it is already death. Yeah. It doesn't have the context to understand it's in an airship with somebody who's really trying to not get too far ahead, but not get caught. So Tanzanite, how do you respond to this prayer of visions in your head. The pained expression.
Is there a way to like go through Emmy and like almost make it feel like Trixie's being wrapped in support to like just help
You could
her
use one of your
maneuver
sending
well?
spells to do it.
Yeah, you have a spell where you can talk to me. I don't.
You can use sending to send that to Emmy.
Okay. But is there a way to do it more through my like shadows and my connection to it? To like
Shadow guidance?
my yeah, like a shadow guidance.
Enemy has separated themselves from your shadows to become this familiar. And similar to how one of your shadows is currently supporting and caring for one of your followers right now, your little shadow, they're not really connecting to you right now. They're connecting directly with the ones that they're attached to by your direction.
Okay.
They've got kind of like really weak one-way communication channels to you.
I know.
What you doing? Because you kind of like lagged a bit right there.
Oh, I didn't say anything yet. I was thinking. I will, because I want to do it through that prayer. Like I feel like it's important. Like she reached out to me via prayer. I feel like it's important to go back via that same thing.
You can use sending to answer the prayer of a follower.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do or say. Okay, so sending. Away. Okay, so use the sending. And I'm gonna say received your prayer. We will be ready. I believe in you completely. Lean into Emmy if you need to. Okay, bye!
Trixie, you can reply if you want to, because that's how sending works, but
do I have like a sense of how far out I am, like in terms of time?
it's a free action to reply right now based on the situation, but it's not yet your turn again. In the combat order, this is kind of like a little interlude, and it's going to give me the chance to decide whether or not Tanzanite and is going to roll initiative, which she's not going to yet.
So I have to reply now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, on the way, be there soon. Doing my best to keep its interest, but not letting it eat me. Sorry. Wasn't my intention. Got a little lost.
You hear a little, and then you're cut out. As the racing is going on, I love that you're sending to each other. That's way more cool. Way more cool than me having to do this. You are hurtling along, Trixie, and as you say that last thought to your friend and compatriot, you see the dragon is diving to follow you, losing height, and overshoots, and ends up it's at a space where it's going to be below your airship. It is not quite catching up, but it is trying to make up ground.
Okay.
You could unfurl more sail, so to speak. That would be in your action zones. Could take another dodge action. You could.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. To do my continued action. But to essentially do a barrel roll to the right in order, rather than a swerve kind of thing, so that it's at least off to a flank of a side rather than underneath. If that makes sense.
Sure. Barrel roll.
More so that it's in my peripheral rather than underneath me.
So you're really veering.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the form of a barrel roll.
Go ahead.
Why not?
Because you're barrel rolling. Let's just roll that as a. It is part of the take cover action, so I guess it's still using the dexterity. And you still have proficiency, so go ahead and roll a d20 and add 10 to it. You're going to have to beat an 18 total.
Oh,
That's a 24.
Cool. You barrel roll. You hear clanking of objects that weren't quite held down, and you've swung wide enough that you can actually make sense of and see to your left, to the port side, so to speak, the red dragon, still lower, but trying to catch up. It is to your stern port area and below. Okay, the dragon is going to do its best to catch up. And it is starting to catch up again. It is getting closer and closer. It has used its action and its movement to gain this ground. So you see no flame as it gets pretty close, dangerously close.
And remind me, you said if I increase, I'm going up by 15 feet per round, right?
Yes.
But that doesn't increase my speed, right?
No, that will decrease your speed a little.
Okay.
Down is faster.
Right. And how far up am I? I was going to ask last time, and I didn't, so that I had a sense.
You are about 1,000 feet up in the air right now because of those heat drafts.
Okay.
You're going to have to descend to get to the forest eventually.
Yeah. I'm going to descend and unfurl again, both, just to get another boost. So far, for however far that takes me.
Again, the dragon loses ground as you do that, using both your unfurling action and the descent bonus action, plus normal movement, and you are jumping pretty far ahead. If you continue doing this, the dragon is still just trying to catch up, so it's burning all of its action and movement towards catching up to you, roaring the whole time, obnoxiously loud. But diminishingly so. If you continue doing this, do you think you would just keep doing that round after round for a bit, or do you think you'd do other things as you gain distance each time?
It depends. If it ends up catching up to me, then I would mostly try to keep a good distance and then speed up when I need to. So
Okay.
it very much like a.
So it'd be a combination of what you've already done so far of
Yeah.
dodge when it makes sense. So we're just going to speed up and get to the place where you come up to the forest. You've kind of been maintaining that distance overall. What I will just have as a once off to decide how rough this has been, I will have your D20 versus my D20. If you roll higher, you get to describe what the overall experience of the encounter has looked like. If I roll higher, I get to describe some minor damage that the dragon may have done.
Okay. It's a natural 20.
Monkey's butts. I was so excited.
Goddamn time!
I rolled a 16, and I was like, very little chance she's going to roll higher than a 16.
Sorry.
No, she
I
natural
can't play the
20.
air horn without stopping the music, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
It's fine.
So you race ahead. Describe to me what this looks like, how you're coming in. What is like if you were Asher and Tanzanite seeing the airship incoming. Tanzanite, did you tell Asher what was going on?
She hasn't really had a chance to like.
She would have by this time.
Yes, my goal was to relay
Get Asher
all that,
and
but I
explain.
didn't want to interrupt y'all's thing.
Shit.
So you're both aware that there's incoming airship and dragon, one after another. Asher, you would have put together the mousetrap. Tanzanite, would you have done anything?
Just assist with that when asked.
Okay, so you're not putting down your sigil.
I am not.
Okay. So Asher, from Asher's perspective, Trixie, I just want you to describe what Asher sees as he's undercover or whatever he's in. We'll get to that in a moment.
My assumption would be that he would hear us coming first from the roaring, and you would just see this like very, from an outsider's perspective, would look like a very, very like Tom and Jerry cat and mouse chase, where you see this ship just kind of like going back and forth, weaving around, like essentially like a fly flying around a dog's head kind of thing, trying like always being out of reach but holding its attention, and this dragon just getting more and more pissed off about it, and getting louder and louder, both because it's getting closer and it's getting more and more frustrated. And I will say that there are definitely a few close calls where Trixie anticipates incorrectly which way the dragon may be trying to move, like counters incorrectly, and then has to, as a result, reactionary dodge a couple of flame throws, or flame breaths rather. But for the most part, it's effective, but it's stressful to watch, if that makes sense.
Okay. Asher and Tanzanite, describe to me, you're seeing this up there, what you've done, how you've prepared yourselves, and what positions you're locating yourselves in. We're going to get your... switch over to a little prelude of nature sounds as you're still in the forest. Peaceful and happy. What all have you set up, done? Where are you positioning yourselves? Give me this description.
I'm gonna say on the map, like to the left of where the like central tree or like the entrance to the building was, is the mousetrap, and then we've like covered it in brush, and in like the cheese part of the mousetrap, we've stacked like the like all of the stuff we could find from inside the building, like the old world stuff, just piled it there, and then and then we probably struggled like crazy to set the mousetrap, and maybe the Nightmare Shepherd was able to help or something, but eventually we got it, and then and then I'm gonna go hide in the doorway of the building that I made, like out of sight a little bit, maybe just like peeking out, looking for.
Could you just go ahead and roll a? I mean, not that it's going to be hard to do this, but roll a hiding trick. What am I trying to say? What word?
Stealth?
Yeah, roll a stealth just so we know where
Roll
you're.
a Heidi.
Roll a Heidi ho.
Heidi ho. Oh God.
That's a 9.
Okay. So you rolled a 9. That's cool. Good luck. Hope you survive. And Tanzanite.
Is there any shadows being cast by any, like, maybe the trap or a nearby tree or a bush? For the building.
There's a light shadow from the trap. There's depression. There's depression. There is a.
There's a lot of depression in this group.
Oh, it's me.
Smile and get it over with.
There is definitely some shadows.
Okay, I want to be in a shadow because I like get hidden when I'm in shadows, right?
Yes. You're not hidden, but you can be more hidden. It's finding a nice little shadowy spot to be not seen from works.
No, the last time when
In the
she was
basement,
like,
she was invisible.
When she's invisible. Wait, what are y'all talking about? Like,
Remember
When
in the pumpkin
in
house?
the pumpkin
basement?
house.
oh, that was because she was in her sanctuary. Sorry.
Oh,
I never explained that because I didn't feel like I had to.
I quickly.
remember
Okay.
we're children, Rick. You have to treat us like we're children.
So
No.
in that case,
I quickly.
I would
sank
like
from
to
Mrs. Hollow
hide-
Brown. No, not really.
I would like to hide somewhere near the trap so that I'd be within, say, 30 feet of it. I would have out my sword of somethings. My long dragon slayer sword
Okay.
already out. And I guess there's not an option to like hold a spell action, or is there?
I mean, we can say that you're prepared, prepared a spell for as soon as the trap goes off. Is that what you're thinking of? This isn't like a combat
Sure.
situation yet. It's just like what you were doing
Yeah.
to get yourselves ready. But if
Okay.
you wanted to,
Then
like,
yes.
for a surprise round, which you'll probably have depending on how you roll your stealth
Great.
stuff.
So then I'm preparing for when the trap goes off, my spiritual weapon above the trap.
Okay. Cool. Let
And I'm
me
just waiting with my big
have-
sword.
Can I cast a spell?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'll make this one wish a fireproof timeless trio for just 1 whole hour. I'm gonna cast the wish spell to make all of us immune to fire damage.
You're using your wish to make everybody immune to fire?
I am.
You nugget.
This is your fault, Rick. You
You let me have
encouraged
it.
him.
I didn't do anything. I didn't pick the wish spell for him. I didn't do it. This is just,
You've encouraged us to go big or go home.
well, yeah,
Exactly.
makes sense to me. I'm just enjoying the ridiculousness,
See what
just
happens when you
gonna-
let me level.
Okay. So you both feel like you're pretty well hidden. You see the airship coming in. I need.
Like that.
What is that noise?
That would be a car outside
That was-
my window.
That was the engine of the airship, obviously, cranking down onto the clearing.
That's what I was saying.
That was kind of scary loud. All right. So what I would like you to do, and this might be what time is it? This will definitely be a surprise round, and then we'll probably have to pick this up when we once again see each other in 2 weeks because DC's big deals.
What? We don't just fight dragons every other day?
Trixie, you can see the area where the space is. You can see the camouflage trap location. You know where these things are at. You've got yourself aimed in that direction. What do you do to get there, I guess?
I am going to attempt to kind of land in a skid. But to one side or the other of where I know the trap is so that I kind of overshoot it in order to have the dragon at least land. Like my goal is to land past it, or to come to a stop past it, so that the dragon stops at least if it's tracing me directly, adjacent to where the trap is. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Let me see if I can grab this thing here and... Sorry, I'm making weird noises because I'm trying to put everything in the right spots. How do I do this?
Calm down, fake bird.
Okay, so you're doing that. Let's go back to the noise here. Okay. Really quickly, re-describe that just a little bit.
I would like to... actually, you know what? I'm at Tokyo Drift this shit. What I want to do is I want to land in a slide, and I would like to attempt to drift the boat around so that it can face forward, so that I can shoot the anchors at the dragon.
Okay.
If once it gets close enough to land, if that makes sense. So I don't know if there's like a hold action kind of thing, or if landing is considered an action, or if I would need to wait.
So you're like overshooting the trap.
I'm
shooting
landing
out your anchor so that it's like drawn towards the trap.
I'm landing. I guess it depends on how. If I can figure out. I don't know if I need to roll to be able to figure out how far I would slide based on what my current velocity is, and like how low I can get before I end up impacting. But I would want to slide next to. So I'm not trying to go over and then land. I'm trying to land before the trap, but to the left or the right of it, so that I'm not going over it, if that makes sense.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw for the ship, which will just be the +10. Okay. As you kind of try to Tokyo drift it, and we'll see what happens.
Woo! That's a 29. I rolled a 19. Fuck yeah!
Okay. Cool. So you shoot out anchor points, and one hits right next to where the building was. You begin to slide and twist. The dragon is right on your tail, having dived to catch up with you. It inhales for that fire to burn this airship, and you're twisted right out of the way as that chain gets pulled taut, and you hear a snap as it breaks. The fire consumes that area that you were in. The dragon tries to follow you, its tail slipping over Asher with advantage because you carefully laid this and tested it and everything. Let's see if your trap works. I'm going to do a dexterity saving throw. And you get to do that intelligence check of your choice for this magical trap that you've hidden. And we'll see. Oh.
Intelligence check of my choice, which means what?
Like picking an intelligence skill?
Yeah, an intelligence skill.
Matters.
That you think makes sense.
Would
I'm not sure
would
if
history be cheating?
No, because that's remembering the what you had done in the past.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
for it.
history because my intelligence sucks. It's the only good intelligence bonus I have.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say, like, just in thinking of traps that I read about in books and trapping mice in the basement of the tavern growing up, and just like all of this like together to create this one big ass trap that will catch a dragon's toe. Okay.
Catch a dragon by the toe. If he hollers.
Oh no.
It's a natural 20.
Oh!
You couldn't have gave me advantage because the other one was a 3.
Oh my god.
That's a
Well,
33.
Given dragons have such legendary abilities, such as being able to just ignore things and stuff like that. Normally, I'd be like, it's going to have to ignore this. But it rolled a natural 1 and you rolled a natural 20. And so what I think has to happen is the dragon, as it's spinning to try to catch the airship that is spinning off in the other direction, it's like two anti towards each other centrifugal forces. Its tail whips out and gets caught in the trap, dragging it down and its fire down into that space that was prepared right into the middle, smashing everything. Asher, were you inside the building?
Oh, yeah, I was in the doorway.
Can you roll a dexterity saving throw?
18.
18. You, as this dragon gets pulled in, whipped around, and its momentum is turned against itself, and it comes down with fire everywhere. You duck deep within the space quickly. The entire entrance and all the design that you've created in that area becoming completely blackened in a moment by the fire, and honestly even just melted a little bit, glowing hot red as it all kind of reignites with whatever molten experience it had had long in the past. Tanzanite, you're tucked away, hiding back behind the trap. That tail whips into the trap. You see the trap kind of explode, but then self-collapse on itself as it really truly digs in on that tail, holding it in place in this moment. I need you to go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw to make sure you don't get hit by shrapnel.
The treasure goes flying.
Not good. Dex. 5.
Oh, no. Welcome to the club.
I was too mesmerized by the fact that I worked.
Shrapnel goes flaring past you, and in your moment of just watching you get smacked and scraped as different pieces come by. You're going to take 10 points of various piercing damages as bits of shrapnel sneak past your armor and into your body.
Ouch. Owie.
You all watch as that central area that with all the wet trees that could leave were gone, and a fire dragon is a terrifying creature. I will need you to roll your. I am again not going to be hurt by dragon fear checks in a second, but the fire doesn't hit you because
Do I have time to counter charm? Damn it!
It's not a charm. It's
an
an effect. It's not a charm.
No,
it's not a spell. Not a spell.
Counter charm is not a spell. Counter charm is an action that gives you advantage rolling against a fear effect.
You were holding your spell though. Was this the spell you were holding?
No, I'm holding a spell.
Oh, you're holding the spell. Okay. I didn't want to have to tell you that you would fizzle something else to do that. Counter charm is a reaction, right?
It's an action.
It's an action. Yeah, when we get to that, you'll be able to do, I think, your counter charm, because I can't remember exactly all the things your counter charm gets.
Like, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid.
Aww.
You know what? I would say that this whole time as it's been coming in, you've been doing that, because that's what it is. It's just like you sit there and constantly are like, don't be a bad thing, don't be a bad thing, don't be a thing, which will give you advantage on the saving throw, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to worry about that yet, though, because of what I want to describe.
Anyway, because I have a +0 on the wisdom bonus.
Well, I want to describe to you what's left here. The fire doesn't burn any of you because somebody made a wish. The airship has been flung free and far enough. You're like 500 feet from that central glade area, Trixie. You were flung that far as the anchor hit, turned, and spun you out, that you're free of that airship being hit by the fire at all. You do see shrapnel flying past, but you've been flung quite far. Your other two anchors launch out catching the ship and stopping its forward spin from becoming out of control. And you are going to be able to disembark, but you are watching through your screens as they spin around and the world spins around on the outside, and the discombobulating motion of forward and back becoming reversed multiple times as the airship is in fact itself being swooped around. That flame is so powerful that the rocks just literally burst into flame. The trees that were there, what few remained, and bushes are incinerated in moments. You had built a trap in the forest. You made it strong, you hit it, and you caught what you were hoping to catch. But now you're going to have to deal with it. Because you have, in fact, started something. And when we return next week, we will roll for Dragon Fear. Actually, we should roll for Dragon Fear now, just to really know.
Can I retcon something?
Yeah.
I just remembered that I bought, so I wouldn't have to keep counter charming every 1 minute. I remember I bought 2 potions at the store. So let's say when I knew the dragon was coming and I drank one, which is a potion, which also gives me advantage.
Okay.
Okay. So,
cool. So you've downed your potion. The fire is burning hot there. Asher, you're inside of the building that's at the center of the kind of hit where the flames were, but you are safe deep within that space. But you can see the molten nature of the rock on the outside. Your fabrication spell almost coming undone as kind of parts of it kind of slagged a little bit, but still there, just a little bit more hot and melty than it was moments before.
Am I trapped, or is it?
You're not trapped. You can still see that there's an exit there. It's just hot molten stone material. It'll be difficult to get out of that space, requiring a little bit of thinking and planning from you. The trap is sprung. You can hear the dragon's roar. Tanzanite, you can see its tail twitching and tearing apart the trap even as it's there. Is she frozen with her mouth open? That is awesome.
Oh,
you
no.
have caught a dragon by its tail. And I would love for you all to roll your
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Dragon Fear saves. So,
God. All right, dragon dice.
the Frightful Presence. Trixie, you don't have to roll. You've been flung far enough away that you don't have to do that yet. But do you want to just do it now so we know?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a wisdom saving throw where you become frightened for 1 minute.
Just because your audio's still there? No.
I somehow got muted.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Your face was frozen for like a solid minute and a half.
I heard, apparently with my mouth open.
Yeah, it was great. So go ahead and roll the wisdom saving throws.
23.
23, you save. Asher.
I saved the dragon! Finally!
What is your roll?
Net, it's 20. Net 20.
A natural
natural
20.
20.
I have 0 bonus on wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is important to know because, like, legitimately, without a natural 20, you would never make this. This is
Exactly.
rough.
Exactly.
Well, you saved. Tanzanite, what'd you roll for your wisdom saving throw?
A natural 20.
Yay!
Wait, unnatural 20?
Yes.
Unnatural is not yay.
What?
Yeah,
Tanzanite,
that's why I had the sad
Oh.
voice.
Oh.
Tanzanite is afraid for 1 minute.
Damn
You
it.
can repeat the saving throw on the end of each of your turns, ending the effect on yourself. The other two of you are immune to the frightful presence for 24 hours, just for a note. Tanzanite, you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the dragon is in line of sight. And I'm sorry, you can't move closer to it, but you're already really close to it. And it's going to be next to impossible to avoid having it in line of sight because it's gargantuan. it's taking up the whole screen, and I will figure out a way to put it on the screen in the future. But this was beyond my prep abilities in this point in time.
Did you do that trap while we were playing?
Yeah. That's why it looks so hodgy-podgy.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking, Rurik, is that it looks hodgy-podgy.
I just threw all the traps together as one big trap because I was like, what would catch a dragon's tail? Let's put them all down. And yeah, let's go ahead and just roll initiative so that I have that recorded for the future.
Shit.
Initiative.
Unless people are so afraid of their dice now that they don't want to.
Yeah, I want to go back to this other one. I rolled a nat 20 on my purple dice and then on my green, so I'm going back to... No, I'm going to go different dice. They've all been very crit fail today, so I'm going to go to a third dice. Entirely.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I think I have the monopoly on crit fails today.
11.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. I guess it makes sense. Chronologically.
Asher. Okay. Trixie.
7.
I guess you're farthest away, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
That's what I was just saying.
Tanzanite.
12.
Awesome.
Unless you just fire the airship back up and ram it.
I'm gonna ram them.
Sacrifice the airship.
One of these days, if we ever get enough of a listenership, watchership, I don't know, fandom, I guess. I don't know. If we get viewership, there we go.
Viewership, okay.
If we ever get enough of a viewership, we should have them one of the weekly contests for, like, I don't know, a discount off of merch should be name all of the movies that Larissa references through her echolalia throughout the session.
Wow.
Name all the movie quotes.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, y'all lost initiative to the dragon, but that's okay. Because
Shocker.
we will come back in 2 weeks.
Then you have to kill us in person.
I get to kill you in person. No, I don't. No,
Not yet.
no, because that's
Oh, wait,
First
no,
will be-
You'll be in Philly, that's right.
that'll be Philly. Unless y'all want to come down to Philly on Sunday.
25th. No, we won't be here. That's
Yeah, I don't think. I think you're remote and
yeah. Well, we'll have come back from Maine the day before, so
yeah. But thank you all for joining us. It's been lovely. Had a great afternoon rolling dice and pretending to be a dragon.
Remember, as our fans, you're all immune to fire for the next 2 weeks. See what that was for.
Yeah, somebody write that down for y'all because I will forget and try to burn you. Well, I'm actually going to try to burn you, but apparently you're going to be immune
And Asher's
to.
just going to go.
okay. Okay, Daenerys Targaryen.
Right.
And it doesn't really know that you're immune to fire, so it's going to try it a bunch of times until it realizes that you're all immune.
Actually, I'm going to throw my
its-
arms out like that. It's going to try to burn me. I'm going to yell, I'm the king of the world.
Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell if you like to get notifications. And we hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, magical, amazing, whatchamacallit, couple of weeks.
Life.
Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Keep going because I hit the wrong button. Ooh.